Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. And we are back here with Karen Menz, our health coach, our friend. She's an author, she's a coach, and so much more. We want to welcome you back to the show today. How are you?
Well, I want to thank you for having me back and then having the video. That was just wow.
Yay.
I mean, and I'm totally outside my comfort zone. So I'm a little bit butterflies, but here I am.
No.
I really appreciate you guys doing this for me. This is awesome.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to have you here. And for our new listeners today, would you mind giving us a little bit of your background? Tell us more about HealingRiseUpAtlanta.com, which is the website.
Yes, HealingRiseUpAtlanta.com. We just revamped it lately, and I'm so excited. We just added services. And what happened is I'm a retired veteran, so I have the aches and pains. So I decided to use that. The tools that I'm using, I wanted, they work for me. Why don't I introduce them to the community? So that's what I'm doing. So we have the infrared mat, was the gemstone mat, which helps with circulation, joint issues, which is what I'm having right now. I just had my cast taken off, so I'm having major pain. So I was just on that today, and I felt a little bit better. So it's inch by inch. And also we had the reflexology machine, which is a non-touch machine, because I was thinking outside the box. Okay. Oh. Everybody wants to have reflexology, and it helps so much with your feet because you're on your feet all the time. And a lot of people are with heels or boots. So no.
You got to take it. You can take it. Just a phone call.
No, it's okay. So I decided to contact this foot doctor, and he made the foot machine that I have, and for reflexology, and it's especially made for my clients. So it has all the gizmos and the gadgets to be able to help and need, and it's with a non-touch with the COVID-19. I wanted a disease-free atmosphere. So I was trying to think outside the box with that. And then I have the foot bath, but I got the machine through AMD, which is more powerful than the ones on Amazon.
Okay.
So I think, like, I want good customer service, right? Yeah. So when I go to a spa, so that's what I was thinking about. I was thinking about the client and making them feel special, and how can I help them with their pain relief, and how can I help them with a weight loss or anything that they're going through. So go ahead.
Well, you want to talk today a little more about being intentional, in a sense? Kind of.
Yes. I'm so excited. I'm helping Annette Goodman, and she has a health magazine locally here. And we just did an article on intentionality and being intentional. And the first thing is you got to think about your mind, your body, and your soul and spirit, right? So that's your whole being, which is called sozo. And which is a Hebrew word for wholeness, which I love. So I grabbed that. I heard that from a prophet, and I was like, I'm going to take this because I like that, because we need to take care of our body. We need to be intentional with that, right? This is our temple, and we need to take care of our mind, because right now, if you think about it, a lot of people are going stir crazy from being inside, and not being able to go to work. And now they're able to go to work, and they don't want to go to work, because they've gotten in the comfort zone of staying at home. So the big thing is renewing your mindset and putting positive affirmations in your mind. Because if you're going back out there in the public again, people are we don't know where people are. So we have to be intentionally able to think, okay, I don't know where they're coming
The
from, but I
boundaries.
know
It's
where,
like,
yes, I know where I'm coming from. So
mhm,
you need to, okay, I can't be responsible for them, but I'm responsible for who I am. And that's being intentional of who you are. And sometimes, and you got to remember, somebody might be having a bad day, and you giving them a smile, you complimenting them, saying, your hair looks wonderful.
mhm.
You look great. I love your outfit. And I love your smile, or something that will make them, positiveness
Yeah,
just makes people glow,
feel
right?
good about themselves. Yeah, it's always good. It's like today isn't Tuesday. What do they call it? Is it Grateful Tuesday? Friends, something. There's a theme today for. Do you know what it is?
Oh,
Thankful
no.
Tuesday. Thankful. It's something like that. Yeah, Giving Tuesday. I think it's Giving Tuesday. We're supposed to
Yeah.
give, whether you hold the door for someone, which I do all the time, but
Mhm.
really to give back and kind of pay it forward in a sense to someone, to be mindful
Right.
of someone else and making someone else's day. And then in turn, they do the same. It's the trickle down effect of one good deed, goes into another. It's positive thinking.
Yes, and it's generosity. And
Yes.
that is so good. Even if you're going through Starbucks, pay for the person behind you coffee,
Done that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So just doing little things like that to make somebody's day, because, and then they will pass it on, and it's just like a domino effect.
It really is.
So it's just awesome. I believe in taking care of people, and I believe in a God first life. And if you have that, and that's another way of renewing your mind, and that's another way of intentionality, is your spiritual
Mhm.
aspect. And I just wrote, had in the article, more or less having a space for you, your spiritual, where you can have your own spiritual connectedness with the God of the universe, where you can just go there and pray and just meditate and journal and do your devotionals, read your scriptures, and just renewing your mind each and every day, because before you go out that door, if you have to get up earlier before you go out that door, to just be able to be spiritually right, because that's your whole being is your spiritual being.
Yeah.
Having a God first life, family second, career third. I think that
Mhm.
is what has made me so successful all these years, because I was a single mom before I was even married. 22 years later, I got married, and God rewarded me with a husband,
Yeah.
which is like, okay, you got promoted, now you have a husband.
Mhm.
And now I have to take that on, because I have to make his day, good too.
Aw.
So that's so important. Like, little notes to your sons and daughters, like in their lunch boxes, and you know saying I love you, things like, just something that is between you and them, like a code. You know what I mean? A special code that you connect with them, that they know that they're loved and they're supported, as they go out to school, and have to go into the world,
Yeah.
because as you can there's a lot of stuff going on in our community schools now. So
Wow.
we need to, if we instill in them something positive, like those little sticky notes and little love notes to your children, and just knowing, and if they read that, and then they're going to share that with their peers, and it's just going to be another domino effect too.
Got it.
So
Got
it
it. Got
should
it.
be awesome. Family time. I believe in family
Well,
time. Date
uh,
your family.
how was your Thanksgiving?
Oh, good, good. Very good. It was just my husband and I and our roommate, and it was very, very, very good. We have family like all over. So it's just like at times you just don't want to travel. So we are in the Atlanta area. If you ever try to go out the door to go to 70 on 75, it's so busy during this duration. So I always try to get my husband and I to take vacations when nobody
Aw.
else is taking vacations, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So we
Aw.
can go and visit family and friends and things like that.
Well, being grateful, being thankful this time of year, of course, I think is so important. I just want to remind everyone, healingriseupatlanta.com. I mean, as a health coach, there's so much that you do. I mean, I can't even, the nutritional supplements, you help people with weight loss, getting healthier. You also have your own line of essential oils and makeup line, luxury skincare. I mean, there's a lot. Organic personal products. I mean, what else did you want to share with our listeners today, Karen? Wow.
Well, I believe what you put into your body is so essential. Um,
Mhm.
you know, I believe in organic products. I rather pay extra for a better quality product, knowing it doesn't have anything that would poison my body, put
Mhm.
toxins in my body. So that is so vitally important. Um, but just not for me, but I think everybody, if we start focusing on our temple and intentionally taking care of it, like I said, mind, body, and soul, and we're mentioning body right now. And, what is unhealthy? Drinking alcohol. Um, Believe it or not, if you want to lose weight, get off the soda,
Yeah.
get off the soda, stop drinking. Um, Quit smoking. I know these are the things that um, that used to be advertised
That's
that were
amazing,
great.
right? I know that is what are we going to find out 10 years from now, you know? But it's the truth. Sometimes you hear eat an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Then there's studies come out saying don't eat the apples. That sugar's not, it's like you just never know what you're doing. So if you stick with the basics, I mean, if it is a fruit and vegetable, you stick with organic, like you said, non-GMO foods, it's a good thing to keep it basic, keep it raw, keep it simple. But
Right.
how difficult is it? I have a 4 and 6-year-old. Go to the supermarket and there's all these prepackaged the snacks, the food, and that's all they want because that's the advertising marketing aspect, which is so sad because it's just ruining little minds and brains at such a young age to think that's food and that's fruity pebbles is a great breakfast. It's not.
It's a
Yeah.
lot of sugar. It's a lot of
Hmm.
sugar. Yes. And I had something right off the
Oh,
thing.
sorry.
No, but in regards to your body, I'm going to give some fruit for people that are out there. This is the time of the year that we're going to be overindulging. We're going to have the chocolate cake, the chocolate cream pie, which I did. I'm going to be honest, I love it. It's my favorite. But just adding more vegetables, and just being mindful of what you eat, smaller amount of meat, more vegetables. If you want to go for that chocolate chip cookie, grab an apple, grab my favorite is the little tangerine oranges. So easy, portable, take them with you wherever you go. And I enjoy that. So that's something good for parents too. It can go into lunch boxes. And
Hmm.
um, and then also, if you have apples, my favorite apple is the Macintosh. I was
Oh.
born and raised up north, and they're my
Ah.
favorite. So I I love my Macintosh apple pie. I love that. But my with my apples, I sometimes have the Granny Smith, and I'll have apple butter and just spread it on that. And that's a nice snack
Mm.
too. Um, and I never thought about it. And then once I
Yeah.
had it, oh wow, this is really delish, So just simple things like that of just changing your your way of thinking. And I call it, the saying stinking thinking. My husband doesn't like that saying very much.
Yeah.
He told me, take that out of the article. I says, okay, I did. But if we educate ourselves, because no matter how old we are, just educating ourselves, keep our brain active. It's so essential. Creativity, reading, I just, I love this book. It's like,
Speaking of reading, yes. What book is that?
that is How to Lead When You're Not in Charge.
Mm-hmm.
I recommend this for anybody out there that's stuck in a job that they feel like nobody's listening to them, and that they have all these wonderful ideas, and just being able to know what to do, to love your boss, not to downgrade them, not to backstab them, but if you uplift your boss, he will look at you in a different light, because you'll be loyal. The loyalty, that's what they're looking for. And if you have an idea, don't just box it up and throw it away. Well, you need to look, well, where is your boss at? Things like that. Just, okay, what is his goals? What is his mission for the company? And you, okay, where does this idea fit in? And, sell it that way, where it's a win-win situation. And also your peers. You gotta love on your peers. I know there's gossipers, and there's gonna be people that, just are the ones that are brown nosers and stuff like that. But I believe, like, I love this book, be an influencer and be in charge of you. Okay, because you can't be in charge of anybody else but you. So you got to look in the mirror each and every day and changing your mindset. Okay, I'm going to have a good day no matter what. I am going to have help my company that I work for. I am going to enrich their coast, things like that, to encourage people. And I believe in, if you're brand new, you can just find out your passion, what you're passionate about.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. What about enjoying and living life against all odds? Would you mind discussing that beautiful book? Oh, look what's behind you. Yeah. Please share a little bit of your story, your journey, and your book, because that's amazing. Would you mind sharing your story?
Yes. I'm a multiple traumatic brain injury survivor, so living life against all odds. So as a multiple traumatic brain injury survivor, what happened was, it's just, I believe God, my faith, really helped me through this, because I think faith has a lot to do. Your faith in God, your faith in believing in God, Jesus dying on the cross, the whole 9 yards, helped me heal a lot. I just struggled. I struggled. There's a lot in the book they wouldn't let me put in there. I wanted to share the struggles I was, because a lot of people said, you're loco, you're crazy. And you know what? I probably was, because I was healing. My brain wasn't all in, the thought process. I lost my left side, which is the executive functioning, the left frontal lobe, right? That's where the tumor was. They took it out there. They cracked open my brain. And my executive functioning was, damaged. Or I can't say damaged. I don't know what it is. All I know is I struggled a lot. I had to retire. There was no way. I had to retire from the military. I loved serving my country. I love serving my soldiers, but I couldn't deal with a lot of the stress, and it affected my stress patterns. I would go out into a parking lot and I wouldn't know where I was. My whole left of my side was like paralyzed. Well, not paralyzed, but no feeling, no sensation, no sensation in a portion of my right side. So I struggled, but I was in my Bible each and every day. I was praying for healing. I was praying to make a difference, because I feel if you have breath in your lungs right here, right now, you're here to make a difference in this world. You're not, and my favorite saying in my book is, do not claim your disabilities, but claim your abilities.
Mm-hmm.
And that is so vitally important to give hope to people out there. I believe that, yes, we do deal with stuff that's challenging, but I believe inch by inch, I was able to heal. Reading the scripture. At first, I couldn't read. I'm going to be honest. I couldn't read. I couldn't read a sentence. So I went to a speech pathologist, and she gave me, she says, well, at that time they didn't have audio, but now they've come a long way, right? Since 2006, right? So now they have audio, but I had CDs. So I had a CD Bible, and I had my Bible, so I would read along. And that's how the beginning of my healing process. Mm-hmm. And then my speech pathologist gave me a GPS, so I was able to go out in public. And then my doctor, and because of my prayers, this is how great God is. Each healing, I was directed to somebody, and one was to a doctor, and she introduced me to Varian, which is no longer in the United States. I don't know why something happened to FDA, but it worked for me. It might have not worked for the ADHD children, but it helped with somebody that had traumatic brain injury, somebody that had, brain challenges. So I was on that, and I was starting to get better. Mm-hmm. I still couldn't deal with stress. I would fly off. I couldn't find things. So that's where I went to counseling, and they says, well, everything has its place, right? So I would put everything in its place. So I would push myself and move things, but I would still fly off the handle because I forgot where I put it. Mm-hmm. So it was just like, it was a gradual, slow process, but I'm where now I can leave my keys, somewhere, but I still have a place for something, or I make sure I have extra things so I don't run out. So I try to make my life stress less, mm-hmm. to help my husband in his job. And so the battles were really hard. And then my husband, I was in church, and I ended up into a small group. I was accepted as a small group leader, which was awesome. Yeah. And I was in charge of the singles of my age, was 35 and above at that time. And I was able to do that. And that's where I met my husband. And it just, at that point, he would go online and like Google things for me when we were dating. And I ended up getting into the hyperbaric chambers.
Oh, wow.
And the hyperbaric chambers helped me drastically.
Wow.
Between the Varian, mm-hmm. which was the natural supplements, believe it or not, and then the hyperbaric chambers, and then everything led to healing. And then I got into a counselor with the 5 spoons, and I started managing my time, where being military, I'm going to be honest, we have a tendency of wanting to do things right now, this moment, let's get it done, where I had to get away from that, and that was very hard, and let go. Like, okay, I only have 5 spoons. What are the 5 essential things I need to do today? And that's how I would do that. So each thing in my book, I gave all the wisdom that I experienced in my healing process, and how the whole package. Healing is like an onion, one layer at a time.
Pull it back. Absolutely. Now, for our listeners out there who would love to get in touch with you, could you share the best form, all forms of contact, and maybe just talk specifically if you want to run down a list of your services before we go as well?
Yes, I would love to do that. Right. I am a health coach. I started off with a health coach and natural vitamins and minerals. And then I went further. I wrote a book. It was just God just all of a sudden said, you need to do this. You need to share your story. So that's what I did. Yes, sir. 3 bags full. And I did that. So to make everything, my business has been in layers, because I'm not like the normal person that can just jump into it, right? So I had to do everything in layers, like healing in layers. So we created our website, which is healingriseupatlanta.com.
Okay.
And where we got Rise Up, I didn't know Atlanta had Rise Up. And I was like, and where I got Healing Rise Up, because in my small groups, our slogan was Rise Up. When things got hard, we would go Rise Up,
Rise up.
So we moved like healing, because that's what we were doing, healing, Rise Up, and then we moved to Atlanta, and then .com. So that's how we got that, healingriseupatlanta.com. And then you can contact us at 678-545-2674. And you can contact us there. And just if you have any questions or anything like that, here I am. And I'm sorry, I'm very, very nervous, but
you would never know. You're amazing. And I appreciate you telling your story and what you've been through, and the fact you're here helping so many other people now. Life comes in full circle. And I didn't know the story about you being a single mom before. I have a 4 and 6-year-old. I'm a single mom. I've always been single. So, I'm hoping that man will come to my life one day too. I believe in miracles. I believe in blessings, and I pray. So I commend you on that. I know how, let alone that's hard, everything else in your life, I can empathize with the child part. So thank you. Thank you for sharing. And thank you for being here, Karen, and looking forward to the next time we speak.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you. And we'll see you soon. And
you got it. Thank you.
I really love this. I'm sorry today. I'm a little bit off, because
I would never, no one would ever know.
Doing it this way, I was like,
we all have feelings of like insecurity. I'm not good enough. I'm nervous. I can't do it. Even I get nervous. I work in television all the time, so it's normal. But the truth is, nobody knows. If you didn't tell me, I would never know. You seem confident, and so guess what? Yes. Right?
Yes. And thank you for bringing up those 2 beautiful children on your own. And my focus was my daughter. I'm going to be honest with you. It was God, family second, which was my daughter, and then my career. And I had that. And then God just brought a husband into my life. But you got to be careful what you ask for too, because you're so used to being by yourself.
43. And yes,
Yes.
that's another issue, because I'm also Miss Independent. I've been a hard worker. I've been everything. And that's all I know. How do you and the guy that I'm dating says to me, and it's only very new, but he says, gosh, you're so independent. I said, gosh, I know no other way to be. I said, how, I don't know any other way. I'm a provider. I'm a mom. And he's like, you got to just let that go. And I'm like, I don't trust. I have issues with trust, I said, but something I guess I could work through. But if has been married before. I haven't. I've never let anyone in fully because I've always felt like I've gotten hurt, but long story short, it's not about me. It's about you, but we'll talk next time. Okay.
But no, this is another thing, being helping each other rise up over these things. Yes. I had the same, being military, retired E7. I had some really major trust issues myself, because I was in charge of my checkbook. I was in charge of getting the daughter out. And, I was in charge of my area.
Your life, everything.
My world. And then all of a sudden having somebody in your life, it's like wonderful at first, but and another thing, once you get married, it's like, oh my gosh, what I do, but but I love my husband. He never was married before either, but so we had to work out some stuff, because he was used to just being by himself for the good 45 years, and I was used to being a mom, so I was always giving.
Already selfless. Exactly. I get it.
Giving. So very selfless. And I learned in my marriage to take me days. I was like, I'm
working on that. Mine are still young right now, but I will. But thank you. Great topic of conversation for next time. We can. Perfect. I think we should talk about this too next time a little bit. Okay.
Okay. That would be
great. We'll rise up all those single moms out there, single dads as well.
Yes. Thank you. They're remarkable. I know that I met a single dad when I was in the military in Louisiana, and he was remarkable.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, thank you again for your time. I apologize. We have to go. Thank you. Have a great day. And to all of our listeners out there, stay tuned. More of the show is on the way. Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.